Okay, good evening.
Good evening to you.
Okay, we've seen Madam Elrufai, come out to support Peter Obi as regards 2027 election.
Yeah.
We even saw his son come out to say that Peter Obi will make good of it, good president. Even while in time past, he has come out to mock Peter Obi. And at the same time, even Elrufai himself have come out and condemned Nnamdi Kanu severally, for wanting to break out of Nigeria with Biafra agitation.
Yeah.
At the same time now, he's also calling for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. But a lot of people have come out and said that you cannot trust someone like Elrufai. Elrufai is a two-faced person, and at the same time, Elrufai, his words should be checkmate, before believing what he's saying. Do you think that Elrufai is saying this with good intention of him wanting Nnamdi Kanu to release and at the same time supporting Peter Obi?
Yeah. You see, the person of Elrufai is always, untrustworthy. Is not someone any Nigeria could, actually rely on, anywhere, anytime. He's a man whose character is questionable, and you cannot actually predict Elrufai. Elrufai changes with season. It's just like a chameleon. Anywhere he is, he turns same color of that particular environment, and he changes with environment as, chameleons, do. So what am I trying to say? He's a political chameleon. Elrufai should not be relied or trusted by Obi camps. The obedient should actually focus on Obi now if actually they want to work on Obi to know how to handle Nigeria if Obi happens to win another election and Tinubu hijack it. What the obedient should be doing now is on how to handle Nigeria. That's the better suggestion. It's not a question of vehemently, largely standing by Obi. At the end of the day, Nigerian government risks election under the watch of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and at the end of Obi will just fizzle out. As a coward he is. Consider me Amram. I don't trust Obi anymore because we worked hard in the last presidential election. At the end of the day, God actually helped us to carry the day. But you find out that Obi, as a coward and intimidated Igbo man he is, he could not pursue what God has given him.
How do you want him to pursue it?
No, listen good now. There are various countries in Africa that an opposition won an election. Someone sat on it, and the person that won the election said no and moved for it. Look at what happened in Kenya. Do you think that Ruto just come to to limelight in Kenya as a Kenyan president just on a platter of gold? Actually, Ruto worked hard before they could actually allow him, the ruling party, to rule, to be Kenyan president, presently. He worked hard. There are many valleys, rivers to cross before you actually access to success. Yeah, before you could get access to success, you must, cross many rivers, many mountains, valleys, before you could actually get there. Listen good. Rome, the ancient city of Rome was not built in a day. It takes time, very heinous time, very strenuous time to achieve anything really worthwhile. That's why I'm suggesting that Obi should be, well prepared, his camp, as we are obedience behind him, all should be with him. So that if Tinubu plays his game again, we Nigerians, obedience, Obi himself could say, Obi, Tinubu, enough is enough. No, you didn't win. The judiciary, the INEC, if actually decide that all of them, should be chased away. We'll be chased away out of Nigeria. We are going to come up against them. Because if I know that this administration presently is an Obi administration. It is not Tinubu's administration. Obi outrightly beat Tinubu in Abuja. 68%. Tinubu scored less than 25. Tinubu scored less than even 15. In Lagos State, Tinubu, APC, they rigged to rig labor out now. Because we have large numbers of Igbos and other ethnic nationalities, even Yoruba, did not vote for Tinubu. So what are we saying? Before you could grab this position, highly exalted position in Nigeria, at Aso Rock, you must prepare well, money-wise. Other mechanisms should be put in place. for you to make it to Asurok. So what I'm trying to suggest is Obi should not be that boy. Obi is a boy. Obi is a boy. No.
You want him to be
Obi,
violent
no.
or aggressive?
A man is not a violent man. A man is not a violent being. A man is a gentle being that plans well all around his family to be conducive for him and his wife and children. That is what we call a man. A man isn't a violent being. If you get the vision of a man or husband is the head of the family. The man of Labour Party is the head of the Labour Party family. He should prepare his family well to make sure that security is there, to make sure that food is there, to make sure that protection, either divine, spiritual or physical, is there. So what I'm trying to suggest here is that Obi shouldn't be fizzling out. You know, check anytime there is trouble. If anytime trouble there is, Obi must learn to what? Weather it. Control it. Yes, storm is trouble. You can see what Arukeli says in his music. I don't understand. I believe I can fly, you know, storm is over and the rest, so on and so forth. So what I'm trying to say is that anytime storm comes, someone that is head of the family should know how to weather the storm. So Obi should prepare financially, that is physically, as in physical catch, to protect his house. The house I mean is the obedience and all the accolades that make up Labour Party. We see how we've actually seen in the past how Labour movement started from a particular region that is not even in the southeastern Nigeria. I mean the former midwestern region of Bendel State. A woman that lives in either Italy or Spain actually commenced the mighty force that has translated into obedient movement today. It is from a woman, a Benin woman. And it could be that Obi gave Labour movement supporters all these benefits, supports, you know, needed. I think Tinubu would have been on the run by now. Then INEC chairman nowhere to be found. Look at Mahmoud Yakub, nobody. He is nobody. It's highly provocative that this kind of people are still, you know, messing Nigerian youths, messing our decision, turning it upside down, and having upper hands over us. It shouldn't be like that. People are stronger than government. God is in control of everything. We know that the government has power. I don't know what I'm saying. That their power is limited at some extent. The people is more powerful than government. That is how it is, you know, within the democratic ideology. It is the power of the people that stands, not the power of the representatives of the people. That's why I come up with the definition of democracy. Democracy shouldn't be government of the people, by the representatives of the people. No, it is government of the people. I don't know what I understand. And the people controls the government and give the government impetus to stand by supporting government. And anytime the people, you know, as a pivot of democracy, releases their grip or hold, what we can see is government falling like a pack of cards. Yeah, pack of cards. So what I'm trying to suggest is that we are the labor men. We are the obedient union or group which should be given that kind of support by equip the obedient agents, equip the obedient supporters, so that at the polling unit, obedient supporters, obedient agents will be there all around the polling units, so that if any intimidation comes up, Akwasia Macho Ikwasi is not only when you get to every polling unit, you see this one drinking IGBO, drinking colos, drinking kai everywhere, and they are all APC intimidating all the obedient agents. And that was what actually transpired in the last presidential election, which actually, you know, made the APC, you know, miscreants to take over Lagos State. You were actually seeing that no matter how they rig it, they could not rig Obi out in Lagos State. So Obi actually has made history in the Southwest for being the second person ever that has won an election in Southwestern Nigeria after the record that Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe actually, broke in 1953. For winning the election here, Awolowo now team up with all his brothers. Coalition force actually edged Zeke out. But Zeke outrightly beat Awolowo in Southwest. And Obi repeated that feat in 2023. So what I'm trying to say or suggest is this. Obi shouldn't always be a boy. Obi is needed to grow up to maturity. Once beaten, twice a child. 4-1, 4-arm. Obi should pick up his pieces and prepare for the next presidential election. 2027.
Okay. But looking at the landscape of things going on present in Nigeria, do you not think that if we don't coalesce with the likes of Atiku and Elrufai, do you not think that Tinubu we have that free will to and Yakubu to rig another to rig the election again?
I think
because if you calculate with it, I think it's
Yakubu Mahmoud is no longer relevant. There are criticism coming from
but see the current INEC chairman.
No. It's going to be removed. It's not going to be there. Don't you know that? No. They can never.
So
they
if
can never allow
not trust him to remove him.
No, I'm telling you the fact. Allegations, complaints, criticism from within Nigeria and without Nigeria, outside Nigeria, people are just criticizing Mahmoud. So it is the right time that Mahmoud is bowed out, and he has actually bowed out. Nigerians are going to decide. Both the opposition and the ruling party to elect another person that could be in charge of Independence National Electoral Commission. Mark my word, Mahmoud Yakub has expired. We have nothing to do with him. He actually knows that he's not going to be there next 2 years. That's 2027. So what I'm trying to say is the coalition of Atiku and Elrufai is not going to amount to anything. See what happened. It is Nigerians. It is the South, Southwest, Southeast, Mid-Belt, Core North, the Hausas in Zamfara, Katsina. It's a question of forming synergizing together to evolve a greater force that will actually march down APC into a tremendous failure comes 2027 election. It has nothing to do with Atiku Abubakar coaliting Obi or synergizing with Obi or deputizing with Obi. It doesn't matter if Atiku becomes second person and Obi the president. It doesn't matter even if Atiku becomes the president or Elrufai Obi deputizes either the two. What matters now is Nigerians. Nigerians should take what belongs to them by force. It's not only going to the polling youth and take it by at least largely voting for Labour, but preparing for the unknown. The unknown I'm trying to suggest here is that someone might, at the end of the day, use billions of dollars to buy this presidential mandate won by an Igbo man in 2023. An Igbo man is going to repeat the same fate he achieved or jinx he broke previously in 2023. Ask me why. All eyes are on Peter Greg Obi right now in the southeast everywhere. Northern Nigeria, Southwest, everybody is putting Obi before any other person. Look at Elrufai. If you ask me, I would tell Obi to stay away from Elrufai or Atiku. These are still same people from Fulani extraction. The people that actually destroyed Nigeria for good 9-10 years now. Since 2015, it's 10 years. From 2015 to today, what we are seeing is Buhari-like administration. Buhari kind of ideology. Buhari kind of political system, that emanated from the north. It has to do with conservatism. It has to do with atheism. Yes, they play conservative politics in the north. These are people that are bent on Islamic ideology, archaic ideology that has to do with religion. They don't want to move forward. They only, at least, propel Nigerians to be going down, backward, to the last 50 years. These are people that don't have vision. They play non-visionary, visionary politics. They lack information. They oppose Western civilization. Even they turn their back on, principle of democracy. We know what the principle of democracy is. It's development, good dividends of what? As embedded with social amenities and employmental infrastructure. Yes, to create jobs. for people to feel the dividend of democracy. It's not all about going to mosque, preaching Quran and talking about Allah and Muhammad. No, it has nothing to put on turban or one kind cap. Designed in Timbuktu, Mali, the oldest at the site of the oldest mosque in Timbuktu, Mali. No, we are southeastern Nigerians. We know what we can do to at least run an establishment like, this entrepreneurship business, enterprising. We are more enterprising than any other, ethnic section in Nigeria. So Obi is the man that the cap, fits. And what I'm trying to suggest here is let nobody actually advise Obi to deputize Atiku or Elrufai. Yes. If Obi wants somebody to deputize him, and still. Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are viewing from. My name is Raf Tresvant Ingwechikwe. Reporting from Lagos. Actually, I'm about discussing the sit-at-home order as it was implemented yesterday in Anambra State. I'm going to tell you that the whole South were southeastern Nigeria before. I mean, Cross River State, Akwa State, Bayelsa State, and River State, which was why all of them outrightly complied to sit-at-home order, which was as a result of celebration of our Hero Day. The Hero Day is Biafra Day. It was 30th May 1967 that Ojukwu actually announced declaration of independence of Federal Republic of Biafra, which has currently been translated into United States of Biafra. It is a welcome development that Igbos all over East Central State of Nigeria formerly, right from Plateau State, Benue State, some part of Kogi State, with all the so-called geopolitical South zones. They all complied yesterday, sitting at home, celebrating our past heroes as a result of the Nigerian Biafran Civil War of 1967. There was no activities yesterday. Virtually the state government, the federal government, all their interests in the southeastern states yesterday were paralyzed, disabled, and inactive. So actually, we complied to the sit-at-home order yesterday, virtually in and outside Igbo states. In Alaba yesterday, in Trade Fair, in Idumota and Balogu, it was as usual. Many of them complied, and I did not expect the Holy Igbos outside Igbo land to comply. The Holy Igbos outside Igbo land are complying in spirit, praying for the Southeasterners who actually were observing sit-at-home yesterday. Some persons were asking questions. Why is it that the Holy Igbos in diaspora, global Igbos, did not comply? I was laughing because I was on social media yesterday. The whole Tokyo, the whole Igbos in Tokyo, the whole Igbos in New Delhi, the whole Igbos in Washington, USA, the whole Igbos in Brazil, the whole Igbos in Argentina, the whole Igbos in Central America, they all complied as sit-at-home order, which was celebration of declaration of Biafra 58 years ago. It was a gala at Alaba axis and the Ladeko axis of Lagos. Of course, those two markets are 95% Igbo. They complied, actually doing their business, thereby celebrating. Some are mourning. All of them virtually, let me say 75% were, celebrating Biafra Day. It was a celebration gala yesterday, internationally and locally. The Igbos were grieving yesterday over their loved ones, their fathers, their mothers, their uncles, their nephews that actually lost their lives during the war. It was actually very, very appropriately, cooperated, successfully yesterday. People complied, people cooperated, The agitation we embarked into since 1970 is coming to materialize this time around. With declaration of independence of Biafra in Lati, faraway Finland, we have come out with our constitutions, our various embassies, our various outlets and other establishments, even our constitutions, as I said, were written just let me say 3 weeks ago. I'm telling you that we are getting there. And with the victory and the court appearance, day before yesterday and 3 days ago, Mazen Nandikano actually asserted the Nigerian legal, team under Omolo, I think, yes, anyway. And they were, beginning to mock themselves. Why? The witnesses coming forward to the court are coming with concrete witnesses, testimonies that we are not backed up with documents. When you are coming to the court to testify against somebody, you must make sure that you come with document-backed evidences or testimonies. You can at least have videos or audio to actually indicate you are saying the truth. But based on what has actually transpired in the court, all the witnesses that transpires, they were all masquerading around, putting on masks, meaning they are hiding their personalities and identity. When you are saying the truth, why must you hide your faces? Your faces, you should make it known for everybody to understand that you are actually saying the truth. But today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the justice himself, James Omotocho, has actually given it to Nnamdi Kanu. That Kanu was wrongly accused, wrongly charged by federal government, who has not actually prepared well to come forward with their witnesses. All the DSS, they actually denied they are not DSS outside the court and within the court. So tell me, which one are we going to believe? Clear conscience fears no accusation. When you are coming forward with solid, cogent truth, to nail somebody and accuse, you don't need to cover your face. You don't need to put on mask. You should open your face. Let people see the man you are, and let people know